rent free.
What happened to Twitter? What, they changed the name of that shit or something?
What was it say? X?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, what
yeah.
Elon bought, that's what he kind of referring into it as. Yes.
Well, he paid for that shit. He can do what the fuck he want with it.
Yeah.
That shit he is.
That thread shit didn't seem like it done lost a little luster. It was hot the first couple weeks.
Real talk show. Tune in time.
You heard anything about it since, Max?
About what?
Real
The
barely.
Twitter alternative Zuckerberg developed is called Threads.
Nah,
It's like
barely.
Twitter.
You know they was getting threatened to get sued and shit though. So Elon might have really talked to him and been like, nah, like I ain't gonna lie, Elon. They bags is different, but Elon bag a little different. I'm not gonna hold you. He is the richest man on the earth. So
You know we
yeah.
doing a 24 league, dog. Why wouldn't we?
If
Cause
you
I ain't
gotta
heard nothing
ask, you
about it.
probably
Remember,
not in it.
Threads was chipping. Everybody and their mom was talking about Threads. Now I ain't heard nothing
Quarter.
about it.
Hell yeah, we doing a 24 league.
How does the music sound on the
Oh,
actual show?
Hollywood Sean, what's up? Yeah, Hollywood
Yo, and how does the music sound on the actual shit?
Sean.
Um,
Everything
it's
cool.
good. So let me get in that John. I just pre-ordered Madden. You got 23? Come play this one. You got a spot.
Ask that nigga if he finally got the 5 yet. Last time I talked to
All right.
A1, he didn't have the 5.
As we proceed, they give you what you need. We got an NFC and the AFC team still undefeated. 12-0 Chargers. 12-0 Lions. Patriots sitting at 9-2. Saints at 9-2. Chiefs at 9-2. Texans at 9-3. Browns are at 8-3. They got the 5. You got 20. You got Madden 23. Hollywood.
Ask that motherfucker how he feel. All the motherfuckers on strike out in Hollywood. How you feel,
Right, yo, it
dog?
seem like the Hollywood actors is all trying out Hollywood right now. Nah, it should be cheap though. Well, get it. You can join this league and then play 24 with it still. Go ahead, pre-order that
Once you get
shit. Let
that
me know when you
motherfucker,
got it so I
man.
can send you an invite. All right, man. My boy Higgins still on vacation, but you know we gotta do the hitters top 10, right? Always. Let's talk about it right now, man. We got an AFC and an NFC team both undefeated. So he said he told all of them to go on strike. Man, pre-order Madden 23 and holla at me, cuz. All right, so we got the Super Bowl defending champs, the LA Chargers, sitting on top of the world right now at 12-0. But those Lions, those pesky Lions, we said they would take over the NFC. Looks like they're doing exactly that at 12-0. The Patriots, 9-2. They just got back on a winning streak. Their downfall started with a 50-50 sim. And now they're back at it. At least they back at it. That's all that matters. But the Patriots are a different football team. And on a previous show, he did say we're cooking up something. I think they are cooking up something. I think they got something good going on right now, man. All right, but those Saints, man, them flyby boys, boy, them flyby boys, 9-2 right now, man. 514 points scored, man. They doing what they want out there in New Orleans. New Orleans, out there running by guys, man. And the new Rayola, Chef Rayola, and the Chefs are 9-2 right now, man. 6-game winning streak. They chilling right now, 588. Only gave up 277 points. These guys really play good defense, man. Texans slide back after losing to 3 Super Bowl winning teams back to back to back. They go on a 5-game winning streak at 9-3 right now. And those quiet young ran coached by the youngest coach in the league, those Cleveland Browns, dirty ass Ohio sitting at 8-3 as well. They're the number 7 team in the league right now, doing big things. doing big things. And those Bengals, man. The Bengals are at 7-4 right now. But my favorite top 10 team on this list right now is them Bears and McCoy, man. Fuck, you talked about this, man. You said he would be the second most impressive NFC North team this season, and seems like he's kind of living up to that shit, man. So why did you feel that way about the Chicago Bears and Coach McCoy?
Well, let's go back to a couple years ago when we called him out and he was like, "I gotta do better," and he ain't make no excuses. He was like, "I gotta do better." And if you've been watching, he been drafting well. He been developing guys, and the proof's in the record. This year, he's over 500. Last couple of years, he was at about 500 and playing extremely well, man. He's progressed.
Yes, sir. I mean, at 3 games over 500 right now. That's definitely impressive, man. It's a long road to being able to have some success, man. And right now, they look like they're a team that should be fighting for a playoff spot right now. Falcons are at 7-5, man. They got Mr. Blair in the backfield and Mr. Bryce Young at quarterback over there. They got a really, really good defense over there. The Atlanta Falcons defense can line up with the best of them. Tennessee Titans on a 2-game losing streak, two forced wins back to back, give up wins. But they 7-5 right now, man, and they striking at 11. 12, the Vikings are 6-5. 13, the Panthers are 6-5. Bucks at 14 at 6-5, and 15 is the Seahawks, who started off very hot, sitting at 6-5 right now. Those Cowboys 6-5, Eagles 6-5, Dolphins 6-5. There's a whole lot of teams right now with a whole lot of games left. We got about 5 games left that's fighting for playoff situations right now, man. We're gonna go right to the playoff tree real fast just to see who has the first entry when it comes down to the playoffs. So I think the AFC kind of looks the same like it always looks. And the NFC is a little bit of movement going on. So you see the Cowboys winning the NFC East at this point right now, tied with the Eagles at 6-5. But if the playoffs was to start today, him and McCoy will go up against each other. Irish Tillman versus McCoy at 4-5. The 3 spot in the NFC will be the Seahawks over and the Falcons. I'm sorry, and the Falcons hold down the 6th spot. And that would be Shoguns against our new Seahawks user. And then there's the number 2 T, and that's the New Orleans Saints going up against the Vikings, who've been playing up and down football. But I will say this, Drew has been super active, man. He got, brought us some guys to the league, all that shit. My boy Drew trying to get it together, man. He on this shit right now. They are the 7th seed right now, with the undefeated Lions having the number 1 seed. Same thing over there in the AFC. You got the number 1 Chargers at the 1 seed right now. New England hold on to that 2nd spot. They're going to go up against the Tennessee Titans as of right now. They're the 7th seed. The Texans are at 3. They will have to play the Bengals at 6. And then there's the 4th seed Browns will have to play the number 5 seed, which is still the 2nd best team. You can argue 3rd to 2nd best team in the AFC right now, and that's the Chiefs. But because they have a division mate that is undefeated right now, that puts them at the 5th seed, although they're like the 2nd or 3rd best team in the AFC this year. A lot of changes on some of these rosters right now, man. And then you can always know what guys are still doing the same things they do and dominant with the rosters they've been dominant with since the start. Those guys find a way to make things happen. And then you got the guys that are changing over things and doing different things and finding a way to continue to fight to be relevant. And you see those teams making their marks, like the Patriots. You got the Chiefs are a brand new football team in a sense, right? They got a whole bunch of brand new guys running around. Anytime you sit Mahomes down after the career he had and was having and bringing a new quarterback, it's definitely a turnover there, right? But those Chiefs are doing one thing right, which is playing good defense. They're 2nd in the league at points given up at 277, only behind the undefeated Lions at 252 right now. So that's our playoff tree right now. And if the playoffs will start today, these will be the teams that are in the playoffs. Now, all these teams are all on here fighting for their playoff lives or fighting for seeding in the playoffs. So it should get interesting as we go forward. Shout out to the tree and those that are still rocking hard right now, man. We get into the league and we go to stats and awards. We're going to check on these award race right now. Got to check on the yearly award race right now. Drake May look like he wants to run the MVP with Herbert fighting right behind him in the game right now to be able to try to jump over top of you right now. But Drake May is fighting and holding it down. Will Levis is doing this thing right now at number 3. At 4, Shador Sanders at 5. Jameson Williams, the receiver who had 6 touchdown performance and like 12 catches or 20 something catches for like 600 something yards. I think he scored 10
12
touchdowns in
touchdowns.
one game. There you go, 12 touchdowns in one game. Oh my
28
God! But
catches.
he's number 5 right now. Rayola, man. Who you know that could take another quarterback outside of the guy that did it with the Detroit Lions and just get their guy right in the mix right now. And Rayola is looking like he like, man, look, I know how to play this game, bro. I got drafted number 1 overall for a reason. All right. He's number 6 on this list. You got the rookie Natarion Tuggle, the slot demon for the Chargers. You got Jackson Arnold, the newly acquired X Factor quarterback for the Patriots. Malik Willis is still doing what he do, and running back Chase Brown. The Detroit Lions with 3 guys in the mix of the MVP race right now. But obviously, you sit and chill and talk about the guys that are top 5 right now. They're going to be the guys that are going to be really fighting for the MVP going down the stretch. Looks like it's going to be a quarterback's award this year. AFC, your top player is Natarion Tuggle, the diaper dandy. Herbert is 2nd. Andy Iso is 3rd. Chris Marshall and then Sadio Traore. Chargers got 3 out of 5 in the top 5. NFC, you're looking at Jameson Williams at 1, Drake May at 2, Chase Brown at 3. All Lions in your top 3. Quez Watkins and then Barryon Brown, another Lion at 5. Holding it down on the offense. Defensive side of things, you got Roderick Pleasant, the young cornerback that's now a shutdown, holding it down at 1. Drew Sanders, the middle linebacker for the Lions, is at 2. Cole Bishop from Utah to New Orleans. That safety, man, balling out. James Houston been doing it for years, it seems like. And you got Jalen Patrice stepping up for the Falcons right now. He found a new home from Texas to Atlanta, and all he's doing is playing good football right now. AFC. The defensive player of the year is in the AFC. Noah Sewell picking the ball off left and right at the middle linebacker position. Will McDonald is coming right back to the mix and saying, don't forget who's the best defensive player in the league. Minka Fitzpatrick, old ass, is still holding it down for the Steelers at 3. You got Tuli Tuiapolo 2 at the defensive end. He's showing off, saying that, okay, we got rid of Bosa. It's my time to step up. He's number 4 on this list. And then Billy Bowman at 5 for the Steelers. Steelers got 2 out of the top 5. We got 2 guys on this list, so shout out to both. Offensive rookies of the year, Natarion Tuggle. You got Draylon Miller, the receiver. Perry Thompson, the receiver. He's at Alabama, but he just got flipped, so he's really going to be at Auburn right now. You got the young running back, Dwight Phillips, the speed demon at 4. And then that boy, we call him Wazi, Assad Wasim, balling. He got drafted by the Lions. Lions had no use for him, traded him with with conditions to the trade. And he is balling. I ain't gonna lie, he's a dog, bro. I would think that, him and Natarion Miller can arguably be, out of the receivers that came out this year, maybe these guys are the best 2 right now. Although we're gonna go look at the NFC too, but I would say this: Wasim ain't played like the first 4 games, 5 games, something like that, before he really started getting active as a Chief. But they get your top 5 rookies. I'm not gonna talk about all 10. Because this is a quick awards race. Let's look at it. And the NFC, your rookies are Mr. Baby Blur, Mekhi Welch, the Colorado prospect, Jacob Page, another Colorado prospect, and Ryan Pelham. I think he's another Colorado prospect too. Balling, top 3 Eagles got themselves a nice little speedster at the receiver position. But you got a running back, 2 receivers, and then you got Mylan Graham, another receiver for the Giants, sitting at 4. And then Peyton Lewis, running back for the Bears. It wouldn't be a top 5 if the Bears didn't have a new running back putting in work right now. Ryan Wingo, the number 1 receiver in the draft, sitting at 6. Who he went to again? The Packers. That's right. All right, defense. Our rookies are as follow: Jason Mitchell at 1, Xavier Mincy at 2 for the Saints. You got Corian Gibson for the Vikings. Marquise Lightfoot for the Packers, and then you got Aiden Breland for the Saints. So the Saints got 2 out of the top 5. All right, AFC, Carter Stottmeyer, Ohio State. Colorado, Stottmeyer, like father, like son. The number 1 corner in the league, Aaron Scott for the Jaguars is number 2. Miles Graham is sitting here for the Jaguars at number 3. And you got Brian Robinson at 4. I think I made Miles twice, one on offense, one on defense. Brian Robinson for the Bengals is sitting here. I've been doing that a lot lately. Xavier Brown, don't know what position he play on defense, but he's number 5 for the Dolphins. We'll get into the rookie conversation because we always got to talk about our diaper dandies. But right now, we just want to show who are the top 5. We get to position groups. AFC, your best quarterbacks are Justin Herbert at 1, Dylan Raiola at 2, Shedeur Sanders at 3, Jackson Arnold at 4, and Arch Manning for the Cleveland Browns. Newly acquired Arch Manning for the Cleveland Browns is at 5. Your NFC top quarterbacks are as follows: Drake May, Will Levis, Malik Willis, Malik Murphy, Lamar Jackson, top 5. When it comes down to the run game, Chase Brown is sitting at number 1, but Sean Tucker, the best running back in the league, still at number 2, saying don't forget about us. You got Baby Blur, Mekhi Welch sitting at 3 for the Falcons. My boy Lawrence Philly from Florida State sitting at 4, and then Aldrick All Systems Estime at 5 in NFC. AFC running backs are as follows. Juckings, man, probably was the MVP of the playoffs and Super Bowl last year. We got Anthony Israel at number 2. Catron Allen finally gets the start for the Chiefs. He's sitting at 3. Isaiah Pacheco has been in the top 5 since he's been traded to the Cleveland Browns. And then we seen a Jameer Gibbs sighting. We haven't seen him in a while, but he is number 5 on this list in the AFC when it comes down to the running backs. Get to these wide receivers. All right, Nick Terrion Tuggle, the diaper dandy at 1. Chris Marshall, Mr. 50-50, go get it. Andy Iso at 3. Draylon Miller, the Texas A&M product, is sitting at 4, another diaper dandy. And then you have your speedster of the year, Tyquan Thornton, sitting at 5. Hoodie still running by guys with him shitting. NFC, who's better than Jameson Williams? Nobody. And then Barryon Brown, another speed demon for the Lions, man. They got their 1 and 2 sitting here going crazy. Quez Watkins, all he do is block and then run under bombs. The next guy on this list runs under bombs. It's the flyby boy, Chris Olev, one part of the 210 that they got out there. They just run by you. And then Trey Palmer, it's still Trey Palmer. He's number 5 on this list right now, man. Shitting. Okay. Top offensive lineman is Cesar Ruiz for the Saints. You got Buccaneers with 2, Gronkowski and Tyler Smith sitting at 2. We're going to do our top 3 when it comes down to the offensive lineman. And then you got Bennett Warren, you got Chris Lindstrom, and Connor Hefferman at 1, 2, and 3, all from the AFC West. D linemen as follow. Will McDonald had a sack. Thule had number 2. Yaya Diaby, you know what they do. And then Jack Mr. Blitz off the pinch dog 0. Sawyer is at number 4. My boy Jared Verse, Florida State stand up, finally getting some burn out here with the new coach, the new scheme, the new defense, and we got a guy over there that's getting to them sacks right now, and Jared Verse. NFC, our best D linemen are as follow. James Houston still doing what he do. We just was talking about Henry Totioto. He's still balling for the Cardinals. Aiden Hutchinson, there we go again. Those Double H boys still turning in that corner. And Dallas Turner has been made a name for himself for the Vikings, and he's still at number 4. Gabriel Rubio, like the D tackle, sitting at number 5 for the Bucks. And then Aaron's little young nephew, Elliot Donald, is sitting at 6 right now. I know I was supposed to do a top 5, but I just like Elliot Donald on here, so we had to say something about it. You know what I'm talking about? All right, Drew Sanders, middle linebacker. Darrell Nichami still balling out for the Rams. Nolan Smith is number 3. Jalen Walker is number 4. They both from the Seahawks. And at 5, you got Tyrus Wheat as your top 5 linebackers in the NFC. AFC top 5 linebackers as follow. Josh Uche, how is he still balling and doing what he do? Only guy has Hoodie. Noah Sewell, man, Mr. Man in the middle, he getting a lot of interceptions. That's why he there. The offense with Anthony Hill, the Texas linebacker, and your boy Hal Perkins is sitting at number 4, and Jahad Campbell from Alabama off that pinch dog 0 sitting at number 5. Trenton Simpson got a new team, new location. He's number 6 on this list. That's what's up. Now coming down to DBs, man, Minka Fitzpatrick at 1. Billy Bowman, another Stiller at 2. Cameron Kitchens from Miami to Miami is at number 3. Carter Stottmeyer, the diaper dandy, is at 4. And then Jalen Monroe, another newcomer for the Kansas City Chiefs, got him out here playing well. He's number 5 on this list. You guys will not see Travis Hunter on the list right now because his stats ain't counting, although he got 11 picks right now. His stats ain't counting for a reason, though. McLean coming up, though. My nigga McLean trying to ball. All right, NFC DBs are as follow. Roderick Pleasant balling out. He's definitely shut down right now. Cole Bishop has been one of the most consistent safeties in the league since he joined the Saints. Jalen Petrie goes to his second team, and he's been balling for the Falcons this year. Mr. Israel M, that can play safety or corner for the Cowboys, balling out. And then you got another Saint and Paulson Abdebo, who's been playing at a high level for a while now for the Saints. So there go your DBs, and that's your award race. We'll get back to that award shit when we get back to it, man. But we are here. Bishop, a shutdown safety? Okay. But we're not here to talk about Bishop at the shutdown safety. Do you think Bishop is a Hall of Famer? Is our next conversation we about to have right now, man. I just want to know through y'all, let's have this conversation, man. When you talk about greats, what makes a player? You know what? I'll start with you, Max. What makes a player in this league a Hall of Famer?
Team impact would be an easy place to start. Team impact plus succession. They have to go like hand in hand. Can't mean a lot to your team, but y'all
So you
still
saying
losing games.
success, and team impact?
Yep.
Okay, hand in hand, I like that. How about you, Snake? What would make up a Hall of Fame player in RDL?
Um, you got some players that you point blank people see people totally game plan or go totally game change for. Wherever it's somebody try to drop three players on one side for a wide receiver, like they man up two or three guys on a guy,
Man,
or deep in on them, or bring extra players up in the box for running backs. Stats, of course, stats and records and things like that always can help a player's case. But some players gotta have false stats. You know what I mean? It's kind of a difference between just straight dick riding and really some players being great. You can see some greatness from players regardless what's done. You know what I mean? Look at a player's worst moments. A lot of times, a team's worst moments can tell a player's greatness for real.
that's how I build
That
my
makes
draft
sense.
class. That's exactly how I build my draft class. So I agree with that tenfold.
You know what I mean?
So, Falky, I asked you that same question before I answer it. What makes a Hall of Famer, man?
Just commitment to excellence, man. Consistency. Um, being the best player on the field, no matter who else you're playing against.
Mm-hmm.
Um, those are my definitions of Hall of Famer. Like guys that you like, shit, where is he at? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and just being consistent, man. Like, it's a lot of guys that have great seasons, but flash in the pans.
So I agree. I think a Hall of Famer player is because all y'all made great points, right? And I go to, guys that got stats, you know what I mean? Guys that might not have those stats doesn't necessarily mean they might not be, might look at a guy that I might say he not a Hall of Famer and you like, how? He did this, and that. And I look and I say somebody else is a Hall of Famer. You're like, well, my guy had better numbers than him. I just think guys that are interchangeable, right? Guys that are dominant, guys that when you are a great play somebody, you don't even have to go look at a guy's roster. You can get in the game and realize by the second quarter who you got to stop. If that guy is a guy that you think about when you play teams and you load up and be like, shit, I got to deal with this nigga first or this guy first. Like those guys are those
And
guys,
then you
right?
still not stopping them.
At all, right? Because you got guys that can You got guys that's making plays and doing good things and have really great numbers, but they can show you in game in and game out that they can actually do that same shit with another player. I mean, with the Titans is a perfect example of that. Any receiver he can have a NFL career, right? So like, I think there is a conversation for that. Like, if your guy is, interchangeable, like you can't like bringing in another guy, you won't get the same as, for example, Patrick Mahomes is no longer playing football in RDL7. Rayola is making a name for himself right now. But is he, can you say he can actually replace Patrick Mahomes? Or do he just got to be Rayola, right? Like, there's not another Patrick Mahomes, right? Things like that. Like, you look at some of these receivers, and I think that's the main position that's probably the hardest to call a guy Hall of Fame versus not.
Yep.
Quarterback and receiver. It's guys that got receivers that if they had another receiver and they do the exact same thing they've been doing, I don't consider that, completely a Hall of Fame player. So when we had this conversation, we start looking at guys and thinking about who has that Hall of Fame pedigree. Some of you guys might want to dispute it, and that's what the conversation is for. Now remember, fellas, it's our opinions. Do not let my opinions affect your insecurities. I'm gonna go this way first before we start looking at numbers and stats and all that good shit. I'm gonna start with you first, Max. Name 2 defenders. I don't care what position they play. When you think of Hall of Fame in this league right now, name 2 defenders that come to mind.
First off the bat, Will McDonald. I'm not gonna lie, that's easy.
Okay.
Um, Second off the bat, shit, the league kind of get crazy after that. I low key might say Bosa second off the bat.
All right.
Like,
So,
I might be biased to it, but like I feel like I don't know because it's hard to tell. You got to look at how many sacks he had, obviously, in our years, but that nigga was up there a lot of years in a row. I know that.
all right. So, Snake, I asked you that question. Just 2 defenders off the top of your head that when you think of Hall of Fame, they meet your Hall of Fame standards.
I mean, I think Max say 2 of them right there. You ain't play a game for years without thinking about Bosa or McDonald. Like
Okay.
almost 1A and 1B on the defensive side of the ball,
Hmm.
knowing you had to go against them.
All right, Falk. How about you?
Uh, I mean, I don't know if Will McDonald name been said, but I go, I go with my team, Houston. Um, I go with Houston. I go with who else? Who else? Just dogs. A guy, a defender.
I go
Houston.
both the H and H's
I
honestly.
was getting. I was waiting for him to finish. I was waiting for
I
him to
go
finish.
He don't,
I
I
was
don't
I
think he
go
literally
want to
waiting for him
say
to
it.
finish. I was waiting for
I
him to
go
The
finish.
both
HH
because I'm
boys,
thinking
like,
about
I
it.
would
It's
stay
just
with
like
both of
I'm
them.
being humble here, man. I don't
you
want to,
don't get the
it's
you don't get the
irrelevant.
name H boys though for like off the rip. It's just like, and that's why I
Yeah, I
said I'm
mean,
biased because I'm
I'm gonna go
thinking
with
AFC.
Hutchinson. I'm gonna go with Hutchinson and Houston. I'm just, I'm just trying to give other people love.
All right.
I'm going them. Shit. Hold on. Let me get out of.
and
Hold
that's
on.
and
Hold
that's
on.
why
Hold
he
on. Give me a
say
sec. Let me
you
get out
kind
of
of got to
fucking
put
fucking.
McDonald and Bosa
I
Those
don't
the
want
top
you.
four.
I don't want you looking at stats and nothing
You
like
ain't
that.
got to look at
I just
nothing. You
want to
just
know
look
right
at,
away who you
and
think.
that's Bosa
I
was
just need to
ahead
get
of
out
his
of practice
time.
mode because if I got out of
So
practice
like
mode, I could just
And
like get out
and
of
if
practice
you
mode.
Bosa
if
was
you're
going
in this
against.
league and you're watching the show right now, I'm asking y'all the same question. Off the top of your head, name 2 defenders that y'all think fits Hall of Fame standards. Right away, just 2
I'll
defenders.
go.
Yeah,
I'll
Bosa
go
was
with
before
different.
his time because it wasn't that many offensive linemen that could block him. So he was crapping on the league. He had a head start the first 3 seasons of the
No,
league. Period.
I mean yes, but it still fits the
And
bill.
McDonald.
Like
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say
yeah.
Bosa and Will McDonald. Like he played D and linebacker over there in Tennessee and kind of like was up top. Period. Like
Um.
was on top of
I'm
a
trying
lot
to do
of them boards.
another.
Period.
I'm trying to do another pair in my head, like another little quick
Next
pair
other
in my
pair that
head.
come in the HH boys. There's not many
H and H is the
two people.
easy pair.
There's not many people that came in and really got a nickname. Uh, I mean,
This is hot. This is hot. Give me.
Mike,
I ain't gonna lie. Like, cause I gotta show love to my DBs. This is hot. Give me Warren and give me Galvatron.
I like that. I like that.
I gotta show love to my DBs.
But I even like that. I
uh,
even like the corner out there in Seattle, the tall guy. What's his
And
name?
Warren, I could have said Woolen. I could have said Woolen. I think Warren goes under the
Tyreek
radar
Woolen.
though a little bit. Yeah, I think Woolen just goes under the radar to me a little bit more.
I
Cause
mean, well, if you're gonna
Antonio,
go Woolen, at one time you could say the safety, my player Tice was on that
Yep, Jamil Tice.
trajectory.
Yep,
You thought he was on
yep.
that trajectory, but like they kind of like tapered off a couple of seasons, or he
well,
said he had a
that's why I
good couple
said
of seasons or two.
I wouldn't put Warren in trajectory. Warren got consistent seasons. He just don't got accolade after accolade in a sense of playoffs, but and no Super Bowl. But I mean, neither does Galvatron in the Super Bowl sense. But Galvatron is all a bit Hall of Fame.
And you know it's crazy because when you think about corners from season one till now, corners in this league, right? Like, who would be Hall of Fame corners? Like
It's tough to call Hall of Fame corners.
who are shut down corners that really shut down like these when you play these motherfuckers, they really shut down corners, like they really make plays when you play all the time. Like and when you come and line up against somebody, what's the first corner that might come to your mind thinking about corners right now?
Tariq Woolen,
Yeah,
probably the
Tariq
first
Woolen.
corner. Outside of that, you kind of really think about a lot of cornerbacks as like a team, as DBs, as a tandem, as teams. Like, to
Yeah,
be honest,
I can
I don't
understand
think
that. I
it's
can understand that. I
I
can
don't
understand
think
that.
it's really no one cornerback that we, I guess you early on in the game, you think a little, you early on in the game, not saying that Ramsey had the numbers, but you kind of watch Ramsey, you pay attention to Ramsey a little bit, and you watch
Ramsey
Tariq Woolen.
Ramsey was the reason why the Dolphins literally was playing in the playoffs first 2 years.
Right, right. That's what I say. You kind of watch Ramsey and you watch Woolen just because Ramsey, quote unquote, best corner on the game when the game starts. So you're watching him. Woolen, he has the best Madden corner wise on the game. So you're watching him and to see their development. But in all honesty, outside of that, you start looking at cornerbacks as tandems. You look even in out there in the Texans as your team develop. Yeah, Stingley and Travis, but then even with Travis Hunter, you really looked at them, that tandem of cornerbacks over there. You looked at the tandem of cornerbacks in Atlanta. It was a tandem. It was even a tandem out there in San Diego. I don't know if really, and it might be crazy to say, like outside of Tariq Woolen, do we really have that super dog shutdown corner?
The
What
pro,
cornerback comes to mind?
the problem is it gets quiet when you think about shut down corners. Because you really like it's almost like if we had all eyes on where we could really watch every game and all that, you'll really better see it, right? But when you go to defense, just watch this. I'm just going to go to interceptions right now. Those that are still currently in the NFL playing right now. Tyreek Woolen is the number one corner in the league with interceptions at 79, with 6 seasons under his belt. The Saints, Paulson Adebo is number 2 with 71, with 7 seasons under his belt. That's just picks, right? You're talking about corners, right? Trayvon Diggs, 69. He got 8 seasons, so that means these guys had picks before, we started the league as well. But they are the leaders right now. We start looking at these guys that came from the first draft classes and on. You start looking at guys like, looking for corners. Derek Stingley, 62. Kobe Durant, 60. There go Dijon Warren. That's why I understand why Max said Dijon Warren. He got 60 corners on because he's even beating Ramsey, and Ramsey got 12 years in. And Dijon Warren got 60 corners up.
He got them years in, but remember, he ain't really been that number 1 or number 2 cornerback. He's still just been on the field.
Yeah. I agree.
And he dropped his abilities.
I agree. Let's go to the sacks right now. All right, so we talked about Will Bosa. Will McDonald, Joey Bosa. We talked about James Houston. All right. So let's look at this right now. Our sack leaders in the league. Will McDonald has 5 years under his belt. He leads the league 189 sacks on his career. Joey Bosa is second with 12 seasons under his belt, 169 sacks. James Houston got 6 seasons under his belt, 153. TJ Watt, 137. He's at 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at 5 is Yaya Diaby with 129. Was 5 years under his belt. All right. But we also said the other double H boy, he got 106 sacks on a career right now. With 106 sacks.
I thought about Diaby, but he got traded in his career, and we haven't heard as much about him since.
Diaby been a Texans from day one, dog. We traded the HBCU nigga, our backup. Our backup. I know you're talking about though. Yeah, I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. Yaya been a Texan since the first real draft class. All right, but look, we go down some, right, and we looking at Aiden Hutchinson at 106. But we all said he's a Hall of Famer in our book, right?
I think that's where what I was saying was impact, where impact can override certain things, and you just know when you speak the name, if it's a household name and it shakes a room, it kind of like you don't get H and H without throwing them. You can't damn near not throw both of them in there, especially when they both crack 100 sacks. Like they kind of both sliding on. In most people's eyes, if they was to both go in the same year, they both sliding. Hall of Fame.
So in that question, do the while we talking about D-lines, do the Commanders D-line be interested to look at some of their stats over there? But do they get overlooked because the lack of success of the Commanders?
Definitely.
A little bit, for sure.
Because Chase got 8 years in the league and Sweat got 9 years in the league.
Especially in the pass rushing video game, for sure. For sure.
Yep. How about Brian Burns at 121 and a half?
I don't think he'll be first ballot, just like I think George might scrape first ballot because he got rings, but I don't think Burns will get first ballot. He'll get probably swing around second, but he's definitely a Hall of Famer to me.
Then you got George Karlaftis, 6 years in with 122 and a half. Nick Bosa been quiet 9 years in the league, but he got 124.
He'll get some knock because the 49ers ain't done shit.
Like Nolan Smith at one point was like up there with Will McDonald when it came down to like sacks year in, year out. Like he had a couple of 30+ sack seasons. He got 127 right now. Does he go down as a Hall of Famer? You see why I asked the question of just give me your first top 2 off the head who meets Hall of Fame requirement, right? Because look, Nolan Smith season in season out got the numbers to show that like goddamn, like he definitely looked like could be a Hall of Famer. Like if you just go individual to his seasons, right? Since 23. Right, he came in the league with 28 and a half. He had a 40 sack season, a 27 sack season, but then the fall off happened. He had 18, but the last 2 years, 6.5 and 7 so far at 28 right now. So I mean, he's been a double-digit sack guy, but he's been a high volume sack guy for the first 3 years. And then when the coaching change happened, 18 sacks, and then he fell off to 6.5. He still got 7 right now and counting, but he fell off, right? I think when we look at these guys, you got to see their body of work, right? So, like, if I was to go, let's go back to sacks right now. If I was to go, let's start with Will McDonald at 189 sacks, right? You go to his stats from 23 to now, right? 46 and a half, 41, 20, 35, 29, and right now he got 17 and a half with 5 games left. I think undisputed Hall of Famer, right? With those numbers, like they big time numbers year in and year out, right? Then you go look at Joey Bosa. We're not going to count anything that wasn't playing seasons for us, right? But Joey Bosa, what make y'all right away say Joey Bosa? It was the impact y'all saw. Really, let's just keep it 100. From playing him in year one is what probably got him in the Hall of Fame in a lot of y'all minds, right? Because year one, we literally watched him win the Super Bowl for his team. So my question would be, let's look at the body of work, because I'm telling you the body of work is there, right? But since 23, 30 sacks. That's the year they won the Super Bowl, where he just was unblockable. Nobody had linemen that could block his ass at all, right? 24 and 24, 20 and 25, 19 and a half, and 26, and last year at 14 and a half. That's a consistent body of work from 23 to 27. Enough body of work for y'all to call him a first ballot, right?
For sure.
So I asked that question again, though. Why was Bosa the first name most of us said when it came out of just picking two defenders as Hall of Famers? What stood out outside of the numbers we seeing? Because, you know,
Well, it's
without me
impact,
checking
man.
on the numbers, the
The
impact.
eye
That's
test,
what I'm.
man.
Yeah, the eye
The
test.
eye test.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to get at. The eye test, the impact. I think that's how you separate first ballot Hall of Famer for a guy that's in discussion for the Hall of Fame, right? Because when you get back to it, right, for what make us say the Double H boys is Hall of Famers, right? Both of them, not just one, both of them. Comes right back to the eye test and impact, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And James Houston is our number 3 guy on this list right now. And then you go look at his stats from 23, 16 and a half, 27 and a half. This man had a 40 sack season, 19, 15 and a half, and 15 right now. So now when you go think about the eye test, the impact, then you look at the numbers and it adds up. I think anybody that had a 40 sack season is definitely should be looked at like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy, hold up. We continue to go down. All right, so why is TJ Watt not a Hall of Famer first ballot from this league in your eyes? There's nobody mentioned TJ Watt and he's number 4 in this list. Is it because he got 11 seasons? And the
Yeah, I
body
think
of work from 23 to 27 is just not that.
yeah, I
Yep.
think
Low
it's
impact with it. It'd be one thing if it was high, if it was low stats, but maybe he was scraping 10 to 12 sacks, but he was playoffs and pushing for this. But
Right.
when the impact's not there and the stats not there, it's kind of like a double negative. So it just kind of drops the ballot. But he's gonna get sacks just merely off of T.J. Watt.
Right.
Also got to put in a computer game, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Recognize who the user is. That type of stuff matters, I think.
All right. So Yaya Diaby is the number 2 sack guy from the Houston Texans, and they came in the same draft class, right? But no, let me ask y'all before I say no, y'all didn't or did. Is this a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Statistically,
And
yes.
here's where the eye test and the impact
I
you don't
think
see it, right? You don't see it as much as you saw Will McDonald shit, like, oh my god,
I think
right?
that happens in real life though. A lot of
Yep.
people go under radar just based off of the situation you were
I'm
in.
just shedding light to when we don't mention certain
Yeah.
players and guys think like, wait, hold up, because Yaya got the numbers to be a first
And
ballot
that
Hall
would
of
probably
Famer.
happen to him in real life though. In real
Yep.
life, if he was to go in, it would be very easy for a team to be like the body of work, like a shit, who, like a Jason Pierre-Paul could easily be like, body of work, or OC Umenyiora when you go against Michael Strahan, your body of work could be like, damn, like that is good shit, but like,
Because when you look at Will McDonald through his first 4 years, he was 30 and 40 sacks a season. But Yaya was 28 and a half, year 2, 26, year 3, 21, year 4, 23
I just want everybody to recognize that it's not regular for 40 sacks to occur.
at all.
So being consistent 20s can definitely still be Hall of Fame, but that's why, yeah, like the said,
But
the
ain't that
first.
why James Houston is up there right now when we say right away
hmm
Hall of Famer? Will McDonald, you got Joey Bosa. These guys all touched that 40 club. But no, so did Nolan. That's the question. Like, so did Nolan Smith. He touched the 40 club.
But touching the 40 and then falling off is where you're a one-hit wonder, and one-hit wonders don't get
Right,
to be in the Hall of Fame.
right,
Are we
right.
gonna count awards in this equation?
I think we should.
I think
I
we can
think we
get to it
should.
for
I think we
sure.
should. I think we
Because
should.
Nolan, guys like Nolan definitely can push off of that. But if the one hit wonder and the awards all correlate, I'm still categorizing as a one hit wonder. Just because you won some awards and you're one hit wonder doesn't mean like it's still a one hit wonder. It was
I
just a
know a
nice.
player. I know a little sneaky guy. What about the ex-Carolina Panther who was headed on that trajectory before his trade, Henry To'oTo'o? Even though that team been losing over there, man, you might got to check some of his numbers. He been up there for awards consistently. Even when he was in Carolina, over there in Arizona, they only winning a game or two a year. But
The problem with him, he way down here on the list with 56.5 sacks. Now,
how many
now, now,
seasons?
now, that's the thing though. Remember,
And he wasn't a pass rusher at first.
his year one. So we'll look at year one. We'll look at his stats and look at year one. He was a middle linebacker in year one, and you can see it because he only had a half a sack that year. But he had 112 tackles, 14 tackle for loss, 2 INTs, and a half a sack. And then he got moved. Then he got moved to the outside linebacker. And in Carolina, he just never really did anything. 1685, 16-3 sacks. Yeah, it looked like he still played middle linebacker
He
for
was
you
playing middle
for those
linebacker
first 3 years.
the first 2
So
years.
really, as a pass rusher, so look, you could look at that. So
The third year,
what you have to do is actually the fourth. What you have to do with him is you got to look at him at 2 different linebackers. Like right now, if I think of middle linebackers, Hall of Fame first ballot, I'm going right to Drew Sanders for the Detroit Lions. That's the first linebacker I'm gonna say is. So then with that being said, I'm gonna have to look at those numbers to even look at Henry To'oTo'o because he became a sack guy in Arizona. But that's
he went
because of the
after that
position
nigga last
change.
year,
That's
like the
because of the
last year in
position change.
Carolina. And you also got to look at a guy like To'oTo'o. I don't think nobody had the front that Drew Sanders was playing behind. So his numbers could be
I agree. I agree because up front you look because
yeah.
look
Turn it off
you
now.
could argue Drew
Turn it off now.
you could argue Brian Breezy at D tackle on that same defensive line got an argument for as a Hall of Famer right now.
He does.
I mean,
Right.
we
So
are
then so you
the
looking
top
at
2 D
three.
tackles in the
So you looking
NFC.
at
Now,
Ben
three
Jordan
out of
Davis
are
and
we?
four.
Breeze A.
Hold on. Are we shorting Ted Bruschi for having that fat ass Vince Wilfork? Do we ever
Right,
short Ray
right.
Lewis
That's
for
what I was
Holy
going to say.
Nada? You
That's what
can't.
I was
That's the
going
way
to
of
get
the
there.
land.
That's what I was going to get there. Right.
You're not going to short them, but they're definitely them guys are not mentioned without mentioning them great D tackles. Just like it ain't been a season that
We
Breeze and Jordan Davis ain't been the top D tackles in the NFC.
we brought up Henry To'oTo'o as a Hall of Famer. I'm not looking at Hall of Fame numbers right now.
Numbers,
And
right?
the only thing that hurt him is because he did play 2 different positions. But even at middle linebacker, 112, 85, and the 67 tackles, right? He had double
As a
digit tackle for
rookie,
losses. Look, he had double digit tackle for losses in his first 3 years, 14, 16, and 19. So his tackle for losses went up as well as his sacks as well. But his last year in Carolina, he was actually an outside linebacker with 3 interceptions, 8.5 sacks, 19 tackle for loss, and 67 tackles. And then he became that guy off the edge for the Cardinals, and his numbers went up. Tackles went down, and his numbers and sacks went up. His best sack year was 20.5, and then he had a 12 season sack and a 12 season sack back to back. Right now, he's sitting at 12 with 5 games left. Right. I don't
and
know if
under
that's
awards, he got 2 Pro Bowls and a Linebacker of the Year award. I think it
right.
just get overshadowed because he just where he's at
So, do
now.
you feel like he a Hall of Famer?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say over there. I was throwing him out there. I just know he has some lately has. I know the trajectory he was on, and I know he done got some awards, and his name been up there as one of the top linebackers since he's made that transition change. And if you look, only thing I can say is about at the middle linebacker, you still see how many tackles and stuff he had as a rookie. You know what I mean? So it's not like he had a lot. That's a lot of tackles still, considering. But shits and giggles, just for the conversation.
When you're looking at the body of work of guys, right? Like I want to go. Let's go to tackle for losses. I think you can get a bigger look at these guys in the league for tackle for losses, right? Let's go look down. I want to look at some names. All right, let's while we talked about George Karlaftis, so Max is your best defensive lineman a first ballot Hall of Famer, George Karlaftis.
Uh, you know, um, uh, from 2023, I could say yeah. Even there's some in betweens, but I could say yeah. It depends. I think the fact that Will McDonald and fucking you got guys that push that 40 sack narrative. I think it could be a case where George could get passed up
All right,
on
but
that
then,
first
but
round.
look, the same argument you can argue for, what we're about to do on offensive side of the ball. George Karlaftis is sitting on 2 Super Bowls and like 4 AFC championships, along with 367 tackles, 182 tackle for losses, and 122 and a half sacks. Right, but over his career, body of work from 23 to 27 right now. We're not going to count 28. 24, 18, 24 and a half, 23, 11 and a half last year.
Split
Uh,
time,
uh,
but that's
are you
debatable.
looking at Hall of Fame numbers? 33 tackle for losses, 40 tackle for loss, 34, 34. Like what makes his, you know what I'm saying? And then he got 2 Super Bowls. Then you go look at the awards. Has he ever won any awards? In 2025, he was the best defensive lineman. He has 1 Pro Bowl appearance.
That Amari Barno shit. I'm looking.
One Pro
Yeah,
Bowl
we
appearance.
we miss out on Pro Bowls when you go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, it
I ain't
still
gonna
count
lie.
though.
You
It
Ooh,
still
still
get the
count.
awards
You
though.
still you
no,
still
for
get you still
sure.
get it. You just don't go. You don't play in the game. You still are. You just get
Yeah,
replaced.
you gotta remember that
Oh, you know what it
The
is
Pro
though.
Bowl
I ain't
awards
gonna lie.
mark week
You know
17.
who it is. You know who it is. Will fucking McDonald.
Yep. Will
He be in
McDonald.
front of me. Pause.
Get on your shit.
I was about to say because I used to be yelling at the end of the season like, bro, I gotta change this nigga position from right end to left end for the longest, and never really did because I didn't, just
That
didn't. But that nigga Will McDonald.
Will McDonald was playing linebacker left and now left end
Oh no,
for the
I
last
did
two
move George
seasons.
to right end because he a right end now. Yeah, I did do it finally because I got tired of that shit.
When you looking at guys, like I just think our protocol should add everything. I think the body of work, the impact, the eye test. I think this the games won, right, and the awards of these players, right. Like you got guys up here. Let's talk about Derwin James for a second. Now we're only going to count Derwin James's body of work from 2023 to 2027, and
I don't think he is.
let's take a look though. All right.
Mm.
At safety, 83
Shit, like
tackles, 3 tackles
Amari
for
Is he a
loss.
Hall
Barno.
of
Come on.
Famer? Yeah, first ballot. No,
All right. And why you feel that way?
I just think he used him in the box a lot, and his numbers don't dictate that.
You heard me, baby?
Like first ballot, man. That's
What about the eye test and impact?
I mean, his impact was great because the Chargers were a good team, but I think you don't. You went into the game fearing Bosa. You didn't go in the game feeling Derwin James. Not at that point. At that point, he was older. You know what
And
I'm saying?
here's my argument why I don't call him a first ballot Hall of Famer because he got a safety on his team that's better than him
All right.
with the same body of work. I think that my player for the Chargers at safety is more of a Hall of Famer conversation than
And what's
Derwin
his
James.
numbers? What's his numbers?
Well, Derwin James, he don't really got big numbers when it come down to like
That's what I'm
what you
saying.
looking for.
That's
Like,
the box script though.
especially that's because he in the box though. Is that because
Yeah,
of that?
that's the box. That's the box right there.
83. He got a high volume of tackles. 83 tackles a year and 23. 3 tackles for loss, 9 picks. His 23 season might have been his best season. Then he had 75 tackles, two
That's
tackles
the
for loss,
burst season.
24, and 25. He had 89 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 7. They look like six linebacker. Sub linebacker numbers right there. Same thing here. 85-3, half a sack, 6 INTs, and then he had a 96 tackle season, 4 tackles for loss, and his second Super Bowl run, and 9 picks that year. We got safeties that got better body of work. At safety though, like I mean, you got to look
I
at
think he
sub
might get
linebacker.
in.
I don't think
He
he's
might get
first
in.
ballot. I think he get in, but I don't think he's first
Yeah, I don't think
ballot.
he's first ballot.
And he has 1 Pro Bowl appearance.
I think Amari Barno was a Pro
I'm
Bowler and a
I'm
Hall of
raising
Famer.
my player as an overall DB to get into the blue jacket because
All
he's
right,
doing it
so
at corner.
let's look at Paul. Let's look at Paulson Adobo for the
He
for
might
the
go under the
Saints.
radar too because he's a regular player, but I kind of like him.
I think he first ballot Hall of Fame.
I just say impact none.
I don't
Here's
know,
Saints
why.
man. I don't think
Saints
he.
ain't win
I
a
don't think he
playoff
first
game
ballot,
and
bro.
he don't scare me. Say
I don't.
Saints
I
don't win a
don't
playoff
think.
game and
Yeah,
that
I don't
nigga's
think
not a
he has.
household name in my house.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he's under the radar, and then they don't. They don't do nothing in the postseason. This is
he's
on
a
the
pro-
coach's fault.
he's a
This is the
product of number.
coach.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's on
this
the
is a
coach. The
product
coach
of this
don't
a
make them
product.
great when it count.
All right,
This is a product
so
of
it sounds
numbers to
like
me.
impact and eye test. He fails that test. All right, so he has 2 Pro Bowl appearances. All right, let's go back to him. I apologize because I'm arguing. I like the numbers. All right, so let's go to the numbers. And 23. Fuck the tackles. You know when we looking at corners, we looking at picks. He had 14 picks in 23, 13 picks in 24, 10 picks in 25, 9 picks in 26, and 10 picks in 27.
He plays
That
the Bucks
because
twice.
that's because I could say his numbers might be a little inflated because you put in a situation with his offense you have to pass, and then on the other side he had Marshawn and Lattimore the first couple of years, so he was just getting more of the targets. It could be more targets while you got a few more numbers. If that makes sense, you know what I mean?
Here's my argument. Here's my argument. He hasn't had a season
But he do got
but
a
one.
19
He
deflection season.
but
God dang.
exactly. He only had one season where he didn't have double digit INTs, and that was
Let me ask you this
26.
question: and when you play the Saints, are you checking for him?
Fuck no.
All right, like, come on, man. Like, what? Like, I get it. He got great numbers, but you're not checking for him.
First ballot
Who
though,
is he?
like yeah, first
What's his number?
First
That's why I
ballot
say the only first
or
What's his
Hall
ballot
of
Hall
Fame
of
number?
or
Famer
not.
quarterback.
What's his number?
I don't know.
So
My point is asking.
are we in agreement on DBs? The first ballot cornerback might just really be
What's
Woolen. I don't
what's
know.
what's Wooten number,
I'm
Ant?
I'm still putting Warren up there, bro.
What's
I'm
Derwin
sorry.
James number, Ant?
I got you. I know their numbers, bro.
My point exactly. Like, you don't even know
So
what
look,
this.
Tyreek Woolen.
I forgot a pass rusher,
Let's look
man.
at Pro
Recap.
Bowls. He got 2 Pro Bowl appearances. He don't have no awards though, right? And you can understand that because you had guys with safeties that did some shit. Hold on. Let's go to career stats. All right, Tyreek Woolen from 23, 14, 24 he had 20 picks, 25 he had 16, 26 he had 12. Last year he had 8.
8 and 4 deflections and 3 deflections. Yeah.
Through a coach change though.
Yeah, I think we gotta throw that in there. Y'all
But
do
remember,
right.
but remember when we wasn't giving him the shutdown corner in the league is because he's playing T and them, they throw bombs all game long. He got more opportunities, right? So you know what I'm saying? Like I just want to throw it out there. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer, a Hall of Famer, or no, not a Hall of Famer
Give me
at the
five
cornerback
corners better
position?
than him.
5?
Five.
Cause I give you 5
You
corners
can't.
better than a Debo.
I
I give you
def.
5 corners better than a Debo for sure,
Oh,
for sure. So there goes right there. That's the argument right there. Flat out.
all right.
I give you 10 corners better than a Debo.
When you think about interceptions or corners, remember Woolen, Adebo, and then there's Derek Stingley are the top 3 corners on all time career interceptions right now. Let's look at Derek Stingley for a second. Awards, he got 4 Pro Bowls and best defensive back in 2023. Career stats since 23. 17 picks in 23, that's his defensive back year. a Warrior. 11 and 24, 10 and 25, 12 and 26, 11 last year. Is Paulson Debo better than him?
I think Debo just overall just not a guy. He gets numbers, but nobody's worrying about it. Nobody's checking for him. It's just my opinion. You can ask in the league right now. People don't know who he is.
I think what folks saying is when you line up, you even when we brought Ramsey name up early, you'll look to see where Ramsey or
But
Wooden is.
I
Might think
understand
twice, but
that
might
big
not.
time. That's why I said we saying he failed the eye
I
test.
mean,
That's
yeah, I'm
why I
not
said he
saying just
failed
for
the
you. I'm
eye
saying it for
test and
everybody
he
else
failed
out
the
there. Like,
impact test, right?
because I don't want them thinking that they'd be saying that fault. It sound like fault hating or something. But nah, I think what he's saying for real is when I line up and I push the button to check and see who's where, this, that, and the fourth. You might think twice about throwing direction where Wooden is, or like a Ramsey was early heyday. You're not really thinking that. I don't think Wooden never had that. I mean, Adobo ever had that title, like sort of say. If
Look,
that makes sense.
let's argue. I mean,
And for
let me
cornerback,
say this:
and for cornerback, it's all about the island.
Derek Stingley only played on the island in 23. Think about what I'm saying right now. He only played on the island in 23. He followed the
But that
slot.
goes into the film.
He followed the slot receivers around from 24 to 27.
And that goes into play. I'm willing to bet that Debo's the outside corner, and I've never checked for him.
Stingley in the slot covering slot guys, and every year double digit. You can see a slot guy because he got 8 tackles for loss, 9 tackles for loss, 7 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 1 sack, 1 sack. Now I mean, like he's in the slot. I got a great question for y'all. The slot corner for the Vikings. The my player. Oh my God, let's go there. Let me go there for a second. Where he at? All right, Aiden Castaneda. Let's go look at him. He got 30 picks.
Net.
Look, is this Hall of Fame numbers fault from the slot? Look at this. 471 tackles, 37 tackles for losses, 22 sacks, and 30 picks on his career. Would you put him in the Hall of Fame? Or would you even say he's better than Debo? He said my corner been on the outside from day one, locking up. And Debo.
Locking up who? When? Where he been getting thrown at and been catching picks?
All
I
right,
ain't gonna
so
hold you. I think in that regards, I ain't more or less worried about when I play the Saints. We play twice a season. His cornerbacks don't work. Wide receivers walking running past people is what worried me. Is what bother you. He ain't never had a cornerback that I really said, "Oh, I'm not throwing him over
I'm
there."
just
But no,
only reason
no
why Paulson
disrespect, but
Adebo
it's
is in the
like
conversation is because he is on the
got crazy
top
stats.
5 with interceptions in career and over the 20 and over. Although he had a let's get off of Aiden Castanino because I like him. So I think we sometimes we go from liking players and
And let
thinking
me
they
ask you this
dogs.
question.
Go ahead.
This is how I'm gonna end this debate. You remember Curtis Martin?
Yep.
Is he a better running back than eye test? Is he a better running back than Clinton Portis?
Curtis Martin. You know I know. You know
I'm
I'm
just
gonna go a
asking a
little.
question.
Yeah.
Is
You,
he a better running back than
yeah.
Clinton Portis?
You thought I was gonna say no because Clinton Porter's name is
No,
more.
I'm just asking. Is he
Yeah.
a better
Yeah.
running back? Eye
Yeah.
test.
Yeah.
Okay, Curtis
Curtis
Martin. Is
Martin
he
was
a
a
better?
dog for 2 teams,
eh,
bro.
Okay, but listen, is Curtis Martin a better running back than Tony Dorsett?
No,
He got more stats than him.
he definitely do. And you know,
That's my point.
Tony was great at Pittsburgh, the
Barry
university,
Sanders.
and he had that 99-yard run that made him. And he played for Americans team. That's why Tony Dorsett is more. Don't think he wasn't a dog, but I'm just saying you're right. It was just Tony Dorsett went to the right team, Americans team.
Curtis Sanders Martin better than Barry Sanders.
No, fuck no.
But that's basically because the Debo got stats. We talking about him, but the eye test. He's just got stats.
Right. So again, I'm agreeing with y'all when it comes down to impact and eye test. No, but men and women lie numbers don't. Your famous quote, fault, right?
But it's a difference with those numbers, though, bro.
And what is
Those
that?
numbers is different. Those numbers is different. Nobody's like people can't even name what team he played for. Like, what team do he play for? The Saints? What's his name? What's his
But he's
number?
saying,
I
I
asked
mean,
y'all,
I
what's his
think, like
number?
you said,
Snake, what's his number? Snake?
when you say
Hold
something
on.
about the Saints, I got you for when you say something, when you think about the Saints, it ain't a cornerback. He ain't had a cornerback that you've thought about. You know, they started with Marshawn Lynch. Like you really like. I think Hall of Famers play like you said. When we talk about the we asked about Hall of Fame players. You say something about the Chargers. You thinking
Right.
about Bosa. When you talk
Right.
about the Saints, if you think about the Saints, the only people you thinking about over there is Olave or even Levis, and even now his running back, his other wide receiver Wilson. I mean Wilson a little bit. You know what I mean? You think about A Chain a little bit, but you really think about Olave or Levis,
I agree,
basically.
and
So
that's part of my major. The way I'm picking a Hall of Famer is could I put it this way? Could the Saints do that with another corner? If they put another corner where Paulson Adebo is, when we
yeah.
replaced him, where he had them same numbers?
Yeah, because his offense is going to put up the same numbers, so you put in a position where you have to pass the ball.
Yep.
So the opportunity is going to be there. I think you do.
So all right, so is his numbers good enough to get him in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Is
Not
they good
first
enough?
ballot. The
Yeah.
argument was first
Is they
ballot.
good
Yeah.
enough? Yeah. They good enough to get him in there? Yeah. But as far as first ballot, I think that first ballot, he's not going to get every vote because like he's not who you thinking about off the break. Like we know Bosa's going to get that first vote because you automatically think about the Chargers defense being dominant. You're thinking about Bosa.
All right,
First 3 years in the league, unmatched.
stand at the cornerback level. We just looked at the numbers of Derek Stingley. Is Derek Stingley a first ballot Hall of Famer?
He and Pa Fang Mei rolling on the floor laughing.
What's his
Derek Stingley got 62 sacks, and he only been playing since 23, so it's not like he got sacked.
Derek Stingley
Picks
got 62 picks?
62 picks since 23.
I think it was debatable. Again, I think it's debatable. I think it's debatable.
Derek
I think he
Stingley in 28 is going to be his first year where he don't have double-digit INTs because they only got one pick on the year right now, right? But from
Level of
23,
competition from the division.
we can argue that though. We can argue
Yep.
that though, right? We can argue that. We
I
can argue
mean,
that. We can argue
gotta
that big
give
time.
you
I'll give him this
gotta
though.
speak up a
20,
little bit.
20 deflections and then 13 deflections is is pretty it's pretty different. I will say that.
And if we're gonna argue level competition for him, I guess we gotta do it for the Saints too, because NFC South normally have sent 3 teams to the playoffs multiple years. Booyah!
I think the cornerback position is very hard. You're
That's
gonna
tough.
find numbers. You're gonna find guys with numbers that that be like, wait a minute, he kind of went crazy.
Thank you,
He kind of
Snake
going
rolling
crazy,
on the
but
floor
you
laughing.
definitely, I would definitely throw that in the mix. I got 2 games a year, and then look, even with the Titans with AR-15, I mean the guy throws somewhere between 7 and 9 picks a game. So like, I
Yeah, throw
get
the
it.
most interceptions in the league with AR-15.
I
I
get it.
think with
How
cornerbacks, I think it go back to that first thing a little bit. I was saying like it's really a thing that'll be like a more or less of a league thing because uh, just you don't really. It's not that many cornerbacks that you really looking for to before at the start of your play. Who you lining up against? You know what I mean? Really,
Uh,
outside of a Tariq Woolen and
with
Ramsey in
that
his
being
early days, it had
with
some
that
that's
being
developed.
said, Malik Willis, 46 picks, 60 picks,
That's what
42,
I'm saying. Like
forty-one.
that's what I'm saying. You go through the like you want to do that. You go through the league and you see that some of them guys and that he playing twice a year doing the same shit. How many stats was padded off of stat games?
I mean, with that being said, how many times Malik Willis done been to the playoffs though?
Hmm.
I mean, just to go against what you just said,
How
Max.
many times
We
has
go.
AR-15 been to the playoffs?
I'm saying with that, with it takes away from them, but I'm looking at that as
But we talking about
when
even in
when
that.
Malik
Talking.
when Malik Willis play a Debo twice a year and he throws 60 picks. Simple math tells me that a Debo could easily have
All
like
right. And in that aspect, he said how many times there are 15 in the playoffs. You talking the second team in that division making the playoffs as opposed to the third team in NFC South making the playoffs. That's who you comparing them with. You know what I mean? So it's but these all good questions. These all good debates. I just I don't know if it's that many cornerbacks that you really looking at before the player snapping like, damn, where is he at? I ain't trying to throw towards him.
Nah, there's only
And
one
that's just
guy.
my
There's only
opinion.
one corner on this list that we talked about like that.
That's
Tyreek Woolen.
Tariq Woolen, and then you can say Ramsey in his early day. That's it. Like I don't Ramsey for the first couple of
I
years, just
think
like Bosa
because
the first couple of
the
years.
disc is so, is easier for the passer, right? Like especially with
for
the
sure.
launch pad, that the what you call position has just been watered down, man. Like I don't really think the corner like it's really no lockdown corners, man. Because
This game is much
the
more
best
about the D
the
line.
best the
The
That's
best
the
best
corners
finish.
corner,
have been
the best corner can get
lost,
walked
man.
by,
Yeah.
walked
In a
by at any
heartbeat.
moment in a heartbeat. You're 100% right. You're 100%
So
right.
I think
I
for
think that's
corners,
why in our
bro, ain't
is
no
that the same
lockdown.
question in this case? Because it's a pass rushing game. Is that why most of us pick pass rushers when it came to right away Hall of Famers?
They got the
Yeah.
biggest
Because they
impact.
had a more impact on the game
I
than a
think I
lockdown
forgot
corner.
about the Panther too, man. Just I gotta talk my shit for a minute. The reason we can let go of a Henry Tuoto after we develop him to a pass rusher to raise his draft stock is because of Barno. He definitely first jacket Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but fucking Henry Tortillo got changed to an
One
outside
second,
linebacker to
second.
raise his draft stock. He was
Right.
a middle
To raise his
linebacker for
trade
you.
value, to raise the trade value. But that's me knowing a player because even before the pros, he started out as a pass rusher though. Then he moved
That
to the middle linebacker.
that's a great comment. Lots of cornerbacks are benefiting off the pass rush. It does go hand in
Right.
hand, right? Like you looking at a Derek Stingley who had double digit INTs every year, but we got two of the best pass rushers in the league.
Two of the best pass rushers up there. Yeah. Then you don't take into account for like I tell you an early trade. Me and Falk made an early trade. I sent him C.J. Henderson, and we seen him watch C.J. Henderson develop to an X factor quick over there. But look at the pass rush he had in front of him. Look at the D line he had in front of him. Period.
Here's the DB that didn't have a pass rush that just was different. B.J. Foster for the Rams during T years.
Yeah.
23. I mean, did he though? Look, 23, 16 picks, 24, 21 picks. But then he dropped off to 9, 6, but that was because of use. Remember, he
He's a
got the ball
user.
from
I was
you.
about to say,
And then
yeah, he's a
13
user.
last year, right? I don't think no safety in the league got the numbers of Galvatron though. I really don't, bro. Like I ain't just saying it because it's my guy, but I don't think no. And then think about this: Galvatron don't play in the box at all. He don't play sub linebacker at all.
I mean, these first 2 years of BJ Foster might have Galvatron
Nah, I
beat.
don't think so. I don't think so, Max. Watch this. Watch when I show it. I just can't find him right now. Where he at? He's somewhere on this bitch. Fuck Galvatron that. He's on interceptions, right? You said BJ. You said BJ Foster first 2 years, right?
Yeah.
All right. Where the fuck? Let me just go to my team. All right. Let's see.
You got to keep in mind you seen T cornerbacks rotate too because he had two cornerbacks go up to X factor
BJ
that
Foster
Nah,
one
was
you
year.
right. You
safety.
right. You right. His first 2 years. Listen, his first 2 years, 23 and 24 was what? 21 and 20 or something like that.
Mm, Yeah, 21 tackles for loss, 16 picks, 23 tackles for loss, 21 picks, 150 tackles, 115
Yeah,
tackles.
nah, he dominated. James got in his rookie season, he had 88 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 11 picks. But then in 25 and 26, he had 78, 8 and 20,
One
72,
second,
5 and
second.
23. Last year, 14 tackles for loss, a sack, and 10 picks. Last year, I mean, you look at B.J. Foster and you say, is that Hall of Fame? He's the Hall of Is that did that make him a first ballot Hall of Famer though?
Those
Because
first two
because
years,
I'm quite sure
nah.
Falk could be like, nah, that's that's how T play the game, same setup, user, simple as that. right? Like you
I
can
mean, that's for
take it
sure.
away
Safety.
right away as the buzz safety all year. You start looking at awards. Look, Galvatron 2 Pro Bowls, led the league in interceptions 2 years in a row. 2025 Defensive Player of the Year, 25 Best DB, and 26 Best DB.
I
His
think
award
I think
trophies.
I think what T did with his guys, man, like is impressive. But you know, I don't know. I really think DBs
It's
at the
so
end of the
hard for
day.
DBs, right? It's really, really hard for
Um,
DBs.
I'm taking my player. Fuck that.
Let's
I
Hall
go
of
look
think
Fame.
at.
if we gonna talk about safeties, you gotta bring up Max safety.
Hall of
He
Fame. My
young.
player.
Uh,
Well, which
Period.
one though? Are you talking about the safety,
I'm talking
my
about
player, Nigel Thomas, or are you talking about
Malachi.
Malachi? Yeah, Malachi. I mean,
No,
his
I was talking about
Malachi's trajectory is Hall of Famer from Door. He just don't got enough time under his belt.
he don't got enough
He
time.
already
Yeah,
got 36 picks right now. And he don't even been in the league. This is great to be his third
I'm
season.
talking about
Like think
my
about
player
that.
though.
15, 16, and 5 right now. That's big time. 90,
Now
40,
Malachi on
120.
track for sure. Malachi on track for sure. But I was talking about my player when I said it.
All right, so a guy that can play all over the secondary, and then you got to take that in consideration, right? A guy that can play all. Just like I was talking about when I said Craig's my player is better than Derwin James,
Yeah, but the
Jamil
stats. I
Tice,
mean, I wish the stats would say, but my player only played in the box the first year, and it shows though with the 13 tackles for loss.
and that was one of his best interception years too. He's had 2 seasons where I mean, at 27 he played corner for you.
No, 27 he played safety. 28 he's playing corner. But that's why I say he's gonna do it at both because he's got 5 picks right now. He's gonna finish with double
But then
digit.
he got them Derwin James numbers in between the 2 double-digit years, right? 6, 9, 6.
Slot
Right,
corner work.
slot
That's
corner
just the way
work.
it
Yeah,
is.
nah,
Yeah.
nah. I'm not disputing that. I'm just looking at it. I'm just trying to be the yin to the yang, I
Also,
guess.
can add weak users and stadium X factors along with
I think when you
athletic
compare,
ability.
when you can look at it and say like a Mill Tice, and you go look at my safety is
Being
right next to a
expecting
Mill
low
Tice.
items, I always
Yeah,
look
I
for
could
him
do
in the
more
box. Most
things,
dangerous safety in my
but
opinion since I played the Chiefs.
So Cole Bishop can't play sub linebacker, right? Cole Bishop can't play sub linebacker. Should never be played in the box. Let's take a look at his number. Now, I do think he has a conversation when he has that 1 year off. You got to look at this guy from 24 to 28. He's had 1 year where he didn't have double-digit INTs at the safety position.
He never in the
this
box.
just confirms the inflation though. Again,
Right, right. But if we talking about your guy being that safety moving all around, are we talking about a Derwin James? Are we talking about these type of players? Cole Bishop got the numbers though, because we just got finished saying Malachi Starks is on trajectory for a Hall of Fame, right? But this guy has those numbers.
Woodley in the box.
I think it could be up.
I think the conversation
You
comes. I think this is not an easy conversation. I don't know about first ballot, but then I'm looking at like again. I get it. The DB conversation is very hard, but I'm not passing him up without really having a good debate over should he be in the Hall of Fame or not. Because if we're gonna pick guys like Galvatron in the Hall of Fame, I think the eye test and impact goes a long way with Galvatron, right? And then you're looking at the awards. He got all the awards, but as a rookie, he got defensive rookie. And he's been in the Pro Bowl 3 times, so. Like he has credentials to be argued about, right? Like this guy, like I just think guys got labels. When you think about the Saints, you don't care about nobody on his defense. Nobody does. When you play the Saints, you worrying about the flyback boys, right or wrong. Nobody's sitting there saying, "Yo, I gotta stay away from Cole Beck or I gotta stay away from Adabo." You saying I gotta back these corners up and hope they don't glitch the fuck out when he run by me.
Well,
Yeah.
If you play match, are you worrying about the collective of his defense, or you stand away from a guy like I know I'm staying away from Malachi Starks. I know to watch that motherfucker. I'm no disrespect to your my player. I don't care where the fuck he is on the field, and he's made big plays in our games. And especially ran back a pick in a playoff game that you won to go to the Super Bowl. So I know who he is, but then it comes down to me knowing your team more than I would know the Saints team. I just know when I play the Saints, I'm not worrying about Nobody on this defense don't worry about those guys on the outside running by my corners.
Yeah, that's it.
When I play the Chargers,
I mean, that matters too. Oh
is
wait.
more about
Oh,
his
you just made me
offense
think about something.
than I just know with the veteran presence of the team he has, guys should be in 9 out of 10 will be in the right spots defensively. But really, I don't worry. It's not the defense you worry about when you play the Chargers. It's more about stopping him from going up and down the field on you, right? Like, but that doesn't mean Darwin doesn't make plays, or the my player safety don't make plays, or the acrobat corners or something, or the safety don't acrobat make plays. Not saying that again. That's why I say I feel y'all with the DB conversation being watered down. But when you talk about the Chargers and we thought defense, the first guy that came to mind was Joey Bosa. I'm looking for that type of impact. Who makes you think right away? Like, you shouldn't have to think when I go to a team. For example, if I go to the Seahawks, y'all gonna all say Woolen right away, right? I go to the Steelers, nobody's gonna think of anybody right away.
Minka Fitzpatrick did
I'm
have
gonna
a
say
hell of a run
Minka.
over there
I'm
because
gonna only say Minka. Yeah.
he was
Okay.
at the top of
All
awards
right.
in his losing years. He made a strong presence, period.
I'm
So you
not.
don't have me
I'm
asking
not. I'm not
questions.
mad at that. All right, Titans.
I think about AR-15 interceptions
All right,
and
Vikings.
the multiple wide receivers.
Vikings.
First thought that coming to Vikings is he need to
That
make that big trade sooner. And late in the last two Maddens, he done made a big trade. It's been a little too late. He need to make that trade sooner, pull the trigger
Bears.
sooner.
what's that pass rusher name? That's what I think. I just forgot
Dallas
his name.
Turner. Dallas
Oh,
Turner.
Dallas
That's who I.
Turner.
That's who
Yeah,
I actually think of when I think
you're
Vikings.
right.
Bears.
New running back every year after year.
Bengals.
Ex
They fucked
Panthers.
up. They fucked up with the Justin Fields thing.
Bengals.
Bengals,
1 year of Jonathan Taylor.
Bills.
nothing.
Oh,
Broncos.
Josh
Nothing.
Allen still.
Browns.
Circa
Browns.
Apex.
Browns.
Chris Marshall, Terrence Marshall,
Chris
whatever the fuck his
Marshall.
name is. Chris
Hey,
Marshall.
Chris Marshall, another Panther.
Chris
Bucks.
Marshall. I ain't gonna lie.
Xavier Smith from the
Malik
Titans.
Willis, Xavier Smith, and then
And
Warren.
fucking Dijon Warren.
Warren, yeah. Like I have to say Warren every time.
Cardinals.
Duo Toto.
I agree.
Caleb Williams.
And
Caleb
Terrence Marshall.
Caleb
And
Williams at
now.
first. Caleb
He got a
Williams
little
at
trio
first.
now.
Caleb Williams at first. But other
Chargers.
than that,
Bosa.
it's gonna be Bosa, and then I'm gonna go.
Bosa.
I go Sadie or Trey or tight end.
I might go Trey or I might say
I go Sadie or Trey or the
or
tight end.
I might go Trey, and then I'm gonna go
nothing-
Herbert.
Their whole offense go around him. He really make it go. No matter what those receivers over there do, Sadie or Trey or to me, every time I play, he's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Trey or after Bosa, for sure.
Chiefs,
Pat,
Mahomes.
right?
Pat,
Colts,
Marvin Harrison until you traded him.
He's
Honestly,
gone.
It,
Until he
Commanders.
traded
it was
him, right?
fitting. It was fitting. Yeah, it was fitting.
Yeah,
It was
until he
very
traded him. That's what I was
fitting.
going to say.
Commanders,
You know,
Vacation.
D-line, they start out with cheerleaders on the boats.
Cowboys.
Dan Snyder got fired.
Cowboys,
Oh,
That's
to
time.
me,
all
that's to
systems.
me.
me.
Is he a Hall of
And
Famer?
honestly, I was
the tight end was a dog over there the first couple
I was
of years.
about to say Michael Myers was low-key a dog for like a couple years. So
You go
I
look at
say
his
those
first
two.
year stats, he might be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and we've had some dog. I don't know.
No,
what his
Michael
stats
Myers.
is,
He's
but the
definitely a
couple
first
years,
ballot.
He was shit.
He's a first ballot. Nah, he's a
Man,
first ballot. I don't even gotta look.
he went fucking crazy with him, bro.
I don't gotta look. He's a first ballot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he down there got 10,000 yards. Dolphins,
Bryce Young
Bryce
trade.
Young.
Just like before that, I think about the Kyle Pitts trade.
Eagles,
I think about Holland and Ramsey.
Eagles,
Die
Double running
player. Oh,
Come
Will
on, man.
Anderson.
Eagles.
Will,
Nah, I don't even. Will Anderson ain't start stepping until a couple of seasons ago.
but that's what the whole thing was always.
Until we
Where is
agreed
Will
on- until we
Anderson?
agreed on a trade.
I agree. All right. Falcons.
Every time I looked at the fucking team, I was like, "Where's Will Anderson, bro? Fuck."
Falcons.
Falcons pimp named Slickback.
Oh
I
man,
I think the running
he
back
be
Rocket
talking.
Sanders.
I
And
think
then
he be talking.
Rocket Raheem. I ain't gonna lie though, but
Raheem
I ain't
ain't
gonna
even a
lie.
starter. Hold
Guns,
on, Raheem. He ain't
guns.
even starting Raheem over this year though.
Not
Up
now, but
until
he's still
then,
eating. He's still eating though. Raheem's still getting the ball. But the first thing really Gun set up, he had one of the best DB cores to start
Cornerback,
the
yeah, he
yeah,
game.
did. That
that's what
Yeah,
I
cornerback
think. He
room,
had the best
yeah.
DB room.
and he had one of the best DB rooms to start the game. For sure, for
49ers.
sure. McQuack.
Quay,
Quez Watkins.
But
I think B. John Roberts, but
resourceful.
really Quez Watkins.
Quez Watt
Quez
resourceful though.
Watkins.
He went and flipped that shit for a fourth. And by God, go ahead, Ray Ray. But you should have capitalized on that shit a long time ago. But he flipped that shit for a fourth.
Giants.
Should have traded Saquon, like I
Balling.
said.
I think Malik Cunningham still was the conversation over there.
Yeah, but
He was trying to trade for another quarterback, so he don't even trust me coming in.
Jaguars, Jets. I'm gonna skip them Lions.
quarterback
Drake
whisperer.
May. Yeah.
Yeah, first things first, quarterback whisperer. Then
I
H and
think
H.
I ain't gonna hold you. I think I gave Falk the perfect nickname, and that's when I started calling him Andy Reid. You know what I mean? Because like his offense should just be crazy,
It's
for
crazy
real.
because
Like,
you go with Drake May,
like,
right? You're gonna go with Drake May, but really,
but
them
he done
fucking
done
that
it.
pass rush was fucking
I'm
ridiculous for a
going.
couple of
I'm
years
going H
too,
and H
bro.
before I just say Drake May because they've been there. He's a quarterback whisperer first,
He's a
and then H and
quarterback
H.
guru for real. He likes it because he done it with a couple of different quarterbacks. But that front seven,
Packers, Hendon Hooker from
eesh,
Shore.
and then Hooker.
And then
Hendon
Hooker.
Hooker.
What could have been?
What could have been? Panthers. Obviously, the running back over
Sean
here,
Tucker.
Sean Tucker. The
But
quietest
it's
kept though.
Quentin Johnson for
Quentin
real, for
too though,
real.
bro. Quentin fucking got
And then
10,000
not
fucking
only
receiver
that,
yards. Oh my god.
and then if you look at Amari Barno, his shit is crazy over there too, like a trio.
I'm saying.
But
I'm saying Tucker and Quentin.
when you think of the Panthers, we all gonna
First
say
ballot.
Tucker though. Tucker right
But
away.
as quiet as kept, it's probably Quentin. For quite a few years, it was Quentin Johnson, but then it's just Tucker, just Tucker.
How about the Patriots?
Taekwon
It ain't no
Thornton.
one person.
The funny thing is you think of the normal quarterbacks before you think of
That's
anything
all you
else.
think about is you think about the
Yeah.
team with no
As
abilities.
soon as I
Period.
get
Like,
past that quarterback shit, though, Taekwon's always been there. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going with
yeah,
Taekwon.
Raiders,
Nothing.
Rams,
What could have been?
Palmer,
Palmer,
Richardson,
Richardson. Yep.
base of the league
Palm,
type shit.
Palmer first. Tutu get you 3. King.
All right. Look, Saints.
Olave.
Olave,
McQuack.
The
what's the
flyby
QB?
boy. Will Levis.
McQuack. The
Seahawks.
original.
Oh yeah,
Seahawks.
I ain't gonna lie. I miss DK going crazy. DK is what I think about still with Seattle. Fuck the Dak or fuck the Lamar. It's
Minka
just DK.
Fitzpatrick. Minka Fitzpatrick for the
I
Steelers.
think about 80 points in 10 minutes.
Texans.
Shador, honestly. I think
Colorado,
Shador first before I think
prime
about
players.
Will
Right?
McDonald.
Just
But
prime time.
look,
Prime
It's
time
just prime
players.
time. They just go
Titans.
like this players. Colorado
AR.
players don't even resign. They don't even resign in other
16 picks
cities.
in the season.
You know what I mean? They get traded
Nah,
because they know they're gonna resign. Teams gonna
the
lose them.
funniest shit of the season, honestly, one of the funniest shits of the season is after that first year when we did the sim and that nigga AR really did not go up. That shit was funny as shit.
So when you look at the quarterbacks that came in the league through our draft class, not these guys that been in the league forever, CJ Stroud is the number one INT quarterback on the list, 337.
Who he play for?
He played for the Colts now, but let's dig into that, like, because he
He
had
used to
two
play for the
teams.
Vikings.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, he was with the
Let's look at
Vikings.
him. So as a Viking, 63 picks, 45 picks, 40 picks as a Viking.
God damn.
As a Colt, 63, and 34.
God damn.
CJ died. Oh my God. All right. So then we go looking at we looking at AR-15. That motherfucker died. Oh my God. The funny
no,
thing
AR
is,
is not up there, is he?
AR got 306 when it comes down to our draft plastic players. Not, you got Allen and Lawrence in front of him, but then you go AR-15.
got a job.
Right? He got the best agent in the world. I was just going to say that. He got the highest, he got the craziest trade ever to get him, too, boy. Rebuilt his team off of that trade. AR-15 through 306 picks. Let's look at it. Look at his through seasons, what he did.
God damn.
In a year, he threw 100 touchdowns. He threw 63 picks. 54 touchdowns, 39 picks. He had a season where he had 55 touchdowns and 51 picks, and a season where he had 61 touchdowns and 56 picks. That was just last year. Yo, he died. He killed him, bro. And he just don't give a fuck. I'm flinging it. I throw a pick. It is what it is. He don't give a fuck. Oh my god, that's a lot of picks, bro. That's a lot of picks. Malik Cunningham only had 290, and Khalid Williams. Let's look at them two.
They only had a $150.
Yo, hey, look, listen, Malik Cunningham started his career off with 56 picks, 59 picks, 63 picks, 63 picks, and then he lost his job. He played no more. He had a better touchdown to interception ratio as a backup, 9 and 14 and 13 and 21. This nigga never threw more touchdowns than picks in his entire career, bro. Oh my god.
Oh, I ain't gonna
damn,
lie.
Junkyard, what the hell you do with Malik Cunningham, bro? Oh Lord, he had a lot of good yard seasons. Though. He threw for a whole lot of yards, though.
Some of these quarterbacks not safe. Hold up,
man. Some of these quarterbacks don't belong in the NFL, bro. Oh my god. All right, so Patrick Mahomes 530 touchdowns, Herbert 522, Drake May 453. Allen with 386, Richards with 378, the other Richard 361, Will Levis 353, Shador Sanders 351, Malik Willis 328. Our offensive conversation is gonna be for tomorrow, but like I like how we attack them the Hall of Fame shit a little different instead of saying top 5 quarterbacks, blah blah blah. The way we had this conversation really leaves some room in for real conversations. Right, I like the conversation we had because we made some great points, especially with the DBs and how how I get watered down in a sense, right? And that because it's the pass rush game, most of our Hall of Famers first ballot came from that department, the edge rushers and shit like that. So I like the conversation, man. Great conversation. When we got 5 games left for the regular season, man, let's get this thing locked out. With that being said, man, you already know how we do it, man. Great conversation, guys. I'll holler at y'all on the next show. We're out of there.